Good morning. Happy Friday 13th. This doesn't happen often. It's a good luck day. I'm claiming it. Let me show you first. Got to start with the why we're here. We're rising and shining with the sunrise. Look at that gorgeous sunrise. And the reflection, the lake is like a mirror today. It's completely just calm and still. Isn't that an interesting analogy right there? When we think about the brain, I often think that's why we resonate so much with water, is our mind kind of connects with it, and how much different we can show up with people, with life, with ourselves, when our brain is like this. Peaceful, calm, no torrential waves and chaos and all of that. I think that's why there's something that's sort of, we all feel it with water and nature in general. Okay, so Proverbs 27, let's get to it. And one of my favorite, I have like the life verses, and I think this is one that a lot of people choose, or even if you're not familiar with the Bible at all, you've heard this one before. It's one of those famous ones. Proverbs 27, verse 17. As iron sharpens iron, so one friend sharpens another, I think is something to that effect. What does that mean? And as I was really looking at all of the verses in chapter 7, trying to pick up on like a common theme, and even what the God has been telling me the last few days, as I've been attending just a wonderful conference and learning a lot and gleaning wisdom from other people, and just so much good stuff that has been poured into this brain. And that was the concept of taking care of things. For business owners, sometimes we're just so growth focused and like getting the new clients, where are the new clients coming from, that we forget about the gold mine of who we already know, who's already shown loyalty to us, who has already trusted us, and we have them and we appreciate them, but how much do we really pour into them and take care of them and nurture that ongoing relationship? How many of us, whether you're a business owner or not, if you're an employee, if you are a boss, if you are a husband, a wife, a daughter, like if you know one other person and you consider them that a positive relationship, how much do you really pour into it and take care of it? And taking care of it doesn't just mean you're awesome, you're great, you're the best. Like, nobody is that. Everybody has faults. And now that doesn't mean you go around like just being critical all the time. But what that example of the iron sharpening iron, what do you do? Why do we need iron to be sharp? It's a tool. It needs to do a job. There's a purpose. Friendships and relationships should be that way too. And sometimes they need a little maintenance. They need to be taken care of. So taking care of things isn't just what probably a lot of us women think is just serving. Let me get you some food. Let me get you a drink. Let me do this for you. It's not just service. That is one way you take care of people in relationships. But the other flip side of that is like maintenance. For our homes, we change filters and furnaces. We use that analogy one day. We wash our dishes. We don't go around using dirty dishes. We take care of our things. And part of taking care of things is maintaining them, cleaning them, looking at the condition that they're in and going, wow, that could be better. I better do something about it. Or, wow, I'm so focused on just the maintenance part that I haven't stopped to appreciate it and thank it for what it's doing and be grateful. You know, we can get so focused when you're out of balance in that relationship. It's not good. And I think that's what Solomon is trying to tell us here in chapter 27, because it's not just this verse, it's several verses. Like, make sure you take care of your friends and you appreciate your friends, because in the time of crisis, your brother's going to be there because your brother's got to be there. But what about your friend? Are you really taking care of that relationship? Will they show up? Are you maintaining those relationships? Another verse, there was actually, I want to say like 5 verses stacked together at the very end of this chapter, which is unusual for Proverbs, because usually it's just 2 that are tied together. But this was like a series of verses, and it was all about taking care of what you have. Like, you know, the money, don't be so focused on acquiring more money and more resources, because you've got a lot that if you take good care of it, it will take good care of you. Your crops will be there. You know, of course, this is time period specific for the Old Testament times. Make sure you take care of your goats. Their milk will feed you. Make sure you take care of your sheep. They will clothe you. So we can get so focused. I think there's, you know, in the motivational wisdom out there, I mean, this has been around since the end of time too. You know, you don't have to look just to the Bible for this. There's Chinese proverbs. There's the Tao Te Ching, like all the wisdom collectively out there, you know, reminds us of these things because it's important. Field of diamonds. Some people are standing on a field of diamonds and they don't even know it because they don't look down. They're so focused out here and getting the new thing, and then which can kind of cause us to take having things for granted. Oh, I have friends and I do care about them. Do they know that? How do they know that if you haven't talked to them in a year? Or if you're not, you know, investing time into it. Your family. Well, a lot of us live in, you know, different places now, and we don't all live in the same town as our family. And before you know it, life is busy and you're like, wow, I haven't talked to so-and-so or seen that family member or that friend in a long time. Or, you know, I show up and do my work. My boss should know that I care, you know, and that I really appreciate this job, but have you taken the time to tell them? Conversely, a lot of bosses, oh, they're so guilty of this. You know, they take their employees for granted. They show up, and sometimes even resentment can build up because they get so focused on their responsibilities as leaders and are so growth focused that they forget to cultivate a good culture within their organization. And then resentment and little weeds start to pop up when you don't take time. And that's really how we take care of things, right? We take time, we pause, we look around. I'm so glad that, you know, even our county, our municipalities that take care and provide us parks like this and, you know, pay, you know, people to come and mow the lawn. It has to be taken care of. Like, it's great that they provided us a park and put paved pathways, but what if that's all they did and they just said, well, we provided a park, we provided a resource with their tax money, but then they didn't maintain it and it got overgrown and then we couldn't use it anymore. Like, then you're like, well, what's the point of that? You know, there are so many examples of this. And gratitude is one of those practices that can help us with this, but I don't quite think that's enough. I was thinking about that. I was like, well, is gratitude really enough? Like, that's a nice practice. I do it every day. But this concept of really, this is one of the reasons why we need a lot of margin in our lives. We stack our schedules so full because we can, but we don't have this maintenance attitude, this taking care of what we already have attitude. And I'm super guilty of this. This is why I'm doing this now. I got slapped upside the head with consequences. And I woke up a few years ago and I went, wait a minute. I wasn't taking care of things. I was somebody that had a super high metabolism as a young person and was an athlete. And boy, howdy doody, did I take advantage of that. And combined with some emotional trauma as a young person and turned to emotional eating. But it didn't have any consequences for me, or that I knew of. I was just blind to it. And so I just took a lot of things for granted, that my body would always just be one size, no matter what I threw into it, how much sleep I gave it. My husband would always love me. Like, we said our vows. He knows I love him. I'm here. Like, my kids know I love them. Look what I do for them every day. But I'm not really taking the time to not only say and do all the loving things, but maybe I'm even being honest when I say, hey, I noticed you were doing so well when you were, these things were happening in your life. Now I notice you're over here. Like, what's going on? I care about you. So it's not all just sunshine and roses. Sometimes it's hard truth. There was another verse in there about that. Like this concern and feedback from a friend. This is me putting it in my language. Concern and feedback from a friend that truly cares is like honey. It's sweet because we can trust it. We've built that relationship. We've taken care of it. And then they know that our words are coming from a place of genuine concern versus just your behavior, blah, blah, blah. And I don't like how, that's how it comes out a lot. This particular chapter also talked about this. A quarreling wife and a quarreling friend or a quarreling sister, this is just their example. We've got to think beyond just the example. Anytime you're just constantly nagging, quarreling, complaining, that does nothing. That just makes all the situations worse. So it's a balance so that they will be able to hear what's right and true. You're sharpening them. You're helping them be better. They're here for a purpose. The business is here for a purpose. The person is here for a purpose. The relationships are here for a purpose. Like, it all has a beautiful purpose, and that can really come to life and be manifested when they're taken care of properly, which takes time, which means that, yes, we want to focus on growth and the new things, but we don't abandon, unless it really was bad for you. Like, of course, there's some things you do need to abandon as part of that care, taking care of things. You need to let go. I had to let go of drinking alcohol. No bueno. In order to fully receive and take care of myself and do the things. So, that sometimes that is part of the deal. But you'll know, like, when you stop and take the time, push the pause button, really do a full inventory and evaluation and an honest look, like, what am I doing here to nurture this, to take care of this? Is it something that needs to be nurtured, taken care of? Or is it getting in the way of me doing that for these other things that, I need sharpened in my life? Anyway, that's sort of because you will wake up one day and you're going to need those resources. And if you haven't taken care of them, you're going to have a lot of work to do. Can I testify? That's what I'm doing right now. And it's worth it. But if I can help save you a time and help you build a bridge so you don't fall into the same pit that I did, that's why I'm getting up every morning. Not because I have to, if I want to, have the life that I really envisioned, that I let go. I forgot to maintain. I forgot to do this with. And I took things for granted. But you don't have to. Like, I really want to help people not fall into the same deep pit that I did and have to climb their way out. Although, if you're there too, there's a lot to be said for that climb and being in that pit. It's pretty educational, and you build a lot of muscles climbing in that way. So if you're there too, maybe you'll one day, maybe part of your path is to also be a guide. Anyway, have a great day. If you're watching this live, have a great Friday the 13th. It's going to be a great, lucky, blessed day, whatever day it is for you, and whatever time of year, whatever year, you just go have a great day. If you're going to rise, you might as well shine. All right, go take care of something today.